a place we can go today, and it's a place where we all can play. Friendly faces, lots of fun, you see. And I know it's there for you and me. It's a colorful world we live in. There's a rainbow of faces everywhere, and everyone is beautiful for who they are inside. It's a wonderful, colorful world. It's a colorful world we live in. There's a rainbow of good times we can share, and every day is beautiful. Just look around and see. It's a wonderful, colorful world.
It was the end of spring on the island of Sodor, and as such it was raining rather hard. Some lines were completely flooded, causing trains to run late. On a particularly wet day, Thomas arrived at Ellsbridge Station right on time. Before he could continue, Thomas had to wait for James to clear the line. Not long now, he thought, as he saw Edward pass with the breakdown train. But as Thomas came to find, the signal never changed, and James must never have cleared the line. "What's taking him so long?" he asked crossly. "Calm down, Thomas," said his driver.
"Still," said the fireman, "it's been 20 minutes since we arrived here. We're gonna be late."
"Come on, Thomas," called his driver. "Let's go see what's happened to James." And Thomas, who was still upset, pulled out of the station. "What a drag," said Thomas. "Having to be late and coming out to see what's happened. Oh, well, no wonder he never cleared the line," Thomas said as he slowed to a stop. "Well, well, well, look who's trying to become a bright red submarine," he said to James. "Not my fault. The track washed out, and some idiot only put a danger sign on one side." "Pah!" snorted Thomas, and before James could reply, Thomas puffed away. At last, Thomas pulled up to the big station. "I can't believe James out on a flooded track."
He didn't know, and he was only trying to do his work.
"Whatever," said Thomas. "Something like that would never happen to me." The next day, Thomas arrived at Farquhar to take passengers to Knapford and then collect a freight train. Just then, Toby arrived from the quarry. He looked worried. "I'd be careful if I were you," said Toby to Thomas. "The weather's supposed to be even worse than it was yesterday." "I can manage," Thomas replied, and he raced out of the station. At the flooded part of the line, workmen were ready to begin repairs. But Percy was due with the freight train for the branch line, and the works train was on the middle track, so Thomas was forced onto the far side. by the time they realized where Thomas was, it was too late. "Oh dear, what will we do now?" sighed Thomas. Back in Knapford, James was waiting for Thomas. "Where could he be?" asked James. "Calm down, old boy," replied his driver. "He might be running late." "But it's been over 10 minutes. Something bad might have happened." "Something has," said the station master, who had gotten a call from a workman down the line. "You'd better go and find out what." And so James set off to find Thomas. "Thomas, thank goodness! Are you alright?" asked James. "I'm fine, but my fire went out," the blue engine sighed. James didn't laugh at Thomas. Instead, he chuffed forward. And coupled up to him. Then James pulled Thomas and his passengers on to Knapford Station. "I was so rude to you yesterday. Why did you rescue me?" Thomas asked James. "Because I know you were just teasing. Besides, if I didn't, that would have made my actions way worse than yours. So, does this mean we're friends?" James asked. "Of course," said Thomas happily. Gordon, the big engine, was feeling miserable. He'd been having less work to do. Most of his time was spent in the yards, shunting trains when needed, and taking the works train along the line. "Oh, how I long to run along the line again," he said, looking down the main line. One day, Thomas arrived at Knapford. 3 weeks. And I've mostly seen Gordon sitting in the yard. He must not be getting much work, Thomas thought. As Thomas took his next train down to Tidmouth, he wondered how he could help Gordon. Percy's gotta take parts to the steamworks. Percy was waiting at the branch line sheds when Thomas arrived to collect his coaches. "Hello, Thomas. What's up?" Percy asked his friend. "Well," Thomas began. He told Percy about Gordon's problem. "I know you have to take hold of Knapford first. Could you talk to him?" "Of course," replied Percy. And the 2 engines set off. "Driver," Percy asked, "were we ever in a situation like Gordon is right now?" "Oh, yes," his driver replied. "It was quite a way back, but we were." Percy arrived at Knapford and shunted his cars into the siding. "Hello, Gordon. I know you haven't been getting a lot of work."
Indeed,
sighed the big engine. "But that never means that things can't change. Would you like to take parts to the steamworks instead of me? I could use a break here."
of course,
said Gordon happily, and he set to work. Gordon arrived at the steamworks.
Hello, Victor. Where would you like these?
"Hello, Gordon, my friend. You can set them over there." That night at the sheds, the engines had news for each other. "I'm off to help on the mainland tomorrow," said James. "And I've heard that because of it," said Donald, "Zach's putting you with Murdoch to take the express, Gordon."
Well then, said Gordon, I guess Percy was right. Things can change, no matter your situation.